Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 51 of Radio Free Filler. For this show, we're continuing with the fourth installment of the musical play, The Changes Over 20 Years. We'll warm up with a continuation of the conversation between Hack and Stephen about the plans for his hit play. But the play starts 20 years in the past. Don't worry about that. That's what the pretty girls are there for. We get 5 or 6 of them to sing an opening number just like in the 1890s, and that will establish the setting. Plus, once the audience gets a look at those girls, they'll go along with anything to make sure the girls can come back later. Now, I just got an idea for an opening number. East side, west side, up the street and down are pretty much the same to us. It's such a tiny town. We don't mind though, there's no need to squawk. It's still the gay 90s and everyone's Irish and folks are polite here in good old New York. But some of us are Pennsylvania Dutch. We're in Pennsylvania. That's true, but it's a start anyway. We can make changes as we go along. As I said before, never interfere with the creative process. I see. Whatever you say. This is the best potato I've ever tasted. Is everyone else enjoying theirs as much as I'm enjoying mine?
What? Oh, yes, of course. I've never had a potato quite like this before.
Now, Stephen, I'd like you to try writing some of the songs. I'm afraid I'm not very musical. I don't know much more than 8 va. Well, that is aiming a little bit high for your first time. Let me start you out with a couple of simple tricks. Parody and topical humor. Now, parody works like this. You take something that's already there, then change it around a little to come up with a new meaning. Can you show me? Well, here's a simple one based on an old bedtime prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep before the bills pile up too deep. If I should die before I wake, I'll count it as a lucky break. Now that's what I call a good example of a bad example, but you get the idea. That's parody. The same thing, only different. Exactly. Now, here's topical comedy. You take a famous event and write a snappy song about it. Remember Johnny Jones, the famous jockey who went to London? Listen to this. Little Johnny Jones, the greatest jockey ever seen, was once invited out to London just to meet the Queen. The ladies were appalled, the men did not know what to say, when little Johnny asked them, just what does that old Broadway? See, it's another bad example, too coarse for this town, but you get the idea. But I can't write music. Just start with the lyrics for now. You can talk the words instead of singing. I can always knock out a tune. Say, how's everyone coming along with their potatoes?
Well, mine's all gone. Mine too.
My potatoes all gone like the rooster at dawn. Oh dear, I'm going to need some more time to think about this.
Maybe I can help you, Stephen. I like to sing when I'm in my room at home.
All right, I think it's time for everyone to call it a night. Come along, Jenny. I'll take you back home now.
May I come along and spend the night in the spare room? I can keep Jenny company, just like when she was a little girl.
I think that's a very good idea. Stephen, you run along now.
The missus and I are going to call it a night as well.
Do you mind if I stay up a while? I'd like to work on some things for the play.
Sure, Hack, sure.
Let me fetch you the key to your room so you can let yourself in. Could I come along? I just want to ask Mrs. Little a question.
The girl's got something on her mind, Hannah.
Well, let's give a few seconds with Ruth alone. Ruth's no fool. Not anymore. Ruth, I think I noticed something. Do you think there's something between Mr. Hack and Miss Hannah? My, don't you remember, child? Mrs. Hannah is married to Mr. Carl. There's nothing between Hack and Hannah, but... Here, Jenny, you take the key to Mr. Hack.
Say, Hack, do you fancy a trip into the city?
Not tonight.
Oh, I mean sometime later, of course.
I don't know. Hack, are you sure you're all right? I'll be fine. I just want to finish up some things with Mrs. Cook.
Well, what was our little Jenny asking about?
Nothing. Just a broken old plank.
Well, we should be going.
Hannah, do you want us to look in on Hack? He doesn't look too well. No, just leave him alone.
Never interfere with the creative process.
Changes over 20 years, Act 2, Scene 4. Two delivery men enter from stage right, wheeling apparently heavy imaginary wagon. Here come the sound effects. Squeak, grunt, squeak, grunt, rumble, rumble. Officer Petty comes on from stage left to intercept them.
Hold it! Who goes there?
24-hour delivery service with a special shipment for a Mr. Hack at the Little Inn.
At 3 o'clock in the morning? That's ridiculous.
It was marked Emergency Confidential.
Let's just see about that. Oh, my word, the light's still on downstairs. Follow me, and I'll make sure he's up. Mr. Hack, are you there? Come out at once.
Yes? What is it?
How dare you call for a delivery in the middle of the night? What was so urgent?
What? I don't recall.
Look, buddy, it's marked Emergency Confidential, so it must have been urgent to somebody.
Let me see the shipping order. Well, that's me, all right. And this is the place. Please, bring it inside. You can set it down in front of the stage. I'm really sorry, Officer Petty.
Squeak, 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 squeak. Sign here.
Three o'clock in the morning.
Look, officer, it's 3 o'clock in the morning for us too, you know.
Well, let's see what it is anyway. Have they gone? Harry, what are you doing in that box? Shh. They've all gone, Harry. Now come out of there.
You're a lifesaver, Hack. I owe you one.
What was that all about?
I couldn't help myself. Seeing you after all these years, it brought back all those memories. I just had to nip off back into the city. The nightlife's in my blood.
Whew. Smells like you got some drinks in there too, Harry.
I'll be all right. I can wash up and slip back into bed. The missus is a heavy sleeper.
She works hard enough during the day.
You won't give me away, will you?
It's not up to me. Officer Petty is bound to talk to Ruth, and Ruth is bound to figure it out when she sees you tomorrow morning. You might as well go to bed now and get some rest while you can. All right, Mrs. Cook, we might as well call it a night. Thanks for all your help.
Was that the robbers?
No, that was Officer Petty and some men bringing a delivery.
You're lying. I bet it was the robbers. I always wanted to meet the robbers.
Now, what would you do if you did meet the robbers?
I'd throw a bunch of potatoes at them. That would scare them away.
That's Officer Petty's job.
I'd throw a bunch of potatoes at her, too.
Well, it's the middle of the night and everyone's going to bed. You'll have to wait till morning to throw potatoes at anybody.
Maybe, but watch out. I'll be ready.
And they wonder why I don't get any sleep.
Changes over 20 years, Act 2, Scene 5. Hack is walking around, bending over and picking up imaginary potatoes as Hannah and Jenny enter from stage right.
Why, heck, the stage is all finished. It looks great.
Yes, Mrs. Cook helped me late last night.
What are the potatoes doing on the floor?
Oh, that was little Johnny's idea of target practice. It was my turn to be the target.
Who's little Johnny?
Well, sometimes Mrs. Cook is a sack of potatoes, and sometimes she's little Johnny. She can do anything. I got some good exercise dodging the potatoes, and now I'm getting more exercise picking them up.
Let me help you.
All right. All you need to do is go over there by the stage and hold the potato sack open. I'll throw them in.
Good morning. What's all this?
Clean up.
From your little adventure from last night?
Something like that. Ready, Hannah? Here comes.
Not a bad shot.
Potato throwing is a man's game. Keeps my eyes sharp and my aim keen.
Let me try that.
Nice.
Well, this is one way to clean up.
You've got a natural swing, you know.
That's nothing.
I bow to your superior skill.
How's this?
Artistry. You should go on the stage.
May I try? Not bad, but you throw like a girl.
A pretty little girl at that. May I join you?
Well, we're all out of potatoes, but you can come in.
You got a lot of work done last night. The place is starting to look good.
It's amazing. Look, Jenny, the stage is up.
Well, I think I'll be moving on.
Thanks for the help and the performance.
You sure do like your potatoes.
So, has Officer Petty agreed to be in the play?
You can't rush these things. Potatoes today, mustache later.
Did somebody say mustache?
Mrs. Cook has agreed to be our villain.
So what would the villain do?
Nothing compared to what that little brat did to me with the potatoes last night.
I'm not sure, but every musical comedy ought to have a nice big villain.
Just to compete for the heroine. He won't hurt me, will he?
I won't let him. But can we have a small villain?
Relax, it's not that kind of show. Our villain will just stride around being big, then pine a little, and sing a song or two.
Oh, pity the villain so misunderstood. They all think I'm evil because I'm no good. But all that I want in this miserable world is the love and affection of a pretty little girl.
Let's not get carried away.
And maybe some gold, and the deed to the farm, and a shiny new auto.
You get the idea.
Well, Harry won't be up this morning. It looks like he got into the city last night. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, that's all right. I'll get more work done without him.
I'm sure he'll get better once the show gets going.
Sure, when pigs fly and pictures talk. Say, that big crate over there, that's new, isn't it? I think I can design something for that.
Sketch away by all means. Stephen and I can go over some more ideas.
Can I listen in too? I'd like to help, even if I have a lot to learn.
Why, of course. Do you have any ideas?
Only that we'll be a great success and get married and go live someplace where we can be left alone and Father can have his own house and not have to work so hard.
He means for the play.
It's all right. We can use that. It's been done, but it works. Happy ending and all. Let's see now. I've gone over the notes again, but there's a piece missing. Little one-act piece from the county fair. Did you see it?
No? Wait a minute. Officer Petty says she saw it. She said it was all right.
She's a lot more fun than she lets on.
Well, she certainly has a way with a potato. I'll see what she remembers.
Oh, now I just remembered something. A new letter from James arrived just as I was on my way over. Let me see what it says.
Maybe there's something about the villain.
Oh, this is not good.
What's the matter?
He says that he's thrown out the play from the county fair because it was connected with his father. Now he says he's stuck. What can we do now?
No problem. We're turning a play into a musical, right? That means we have to take out some of the play anyway to make room for the music.
How does that work?
We'll replace the county fair play with the opening of the little theater. We'll get Harry to do a funny song with the pretty girls as the chorus. Harry always did have an ear for music and an eye for pretty girls.
Did somebody mention pretty girls?
I sure did. Stephen and I are going to write you a brand new song to perform with a chorus of pretty girls.
What will the missus say?
I say it'll keep you busy here and safely away from the city. I'm not just going to let you do this, Harry. I'm going to make you do it.
Anything you say, dearie.
The show must go on.
But I'm no songwriter.
Like I said, we'll work on it together.
You might be the next Gilbert and Sullivan.
Or Rogers and Hart.
Who?
Skip it. Anyway, we've got Stephen and Jenny reminiscing, then the pretty girl chorus singing the 1890s number, then Officer Petty making the birth announcement. We need a song there. Any ideas?
How about, guess what? There's a new baby.
That's one. Another?
I was strolling through the park one day, but I swear that I was miles away.
Harry, so help me.
Remember, this is a song for Officer Petty to sing, Harry. And it's a birth announcement, not an alibi. This baby is going to grow up to be Stephen.
He's going to be a fine young boy.
That's very good, Jenny. Have you got any more lines?
Oh, you mean for the song? I was just saying it.
It's a fine start anyway. Let me see. Try to imagine it this way.
Everybody gather round. There's a brand new baby here in town. He doesn't even come up to your knee, but even now it's plain to see. He's gonna be a fine young boy. He's gonna be a fine young boy. Our little town's newest bundle of joy. He's gonna be a fine young boy. There's a brand new gentleman caller, though I don't think he could be much smaller. Never mind, he's bound to grow, and everyone will come to know. He's gonna be a fine young boy. He's gonna be a fine young boy. A little town's newest bundle of joy. He's gonna be a fine young boy.
He's going to be a fine young boy. He's going to be a fine young boy. Our little town's newest bundle of joy. He's going to be a fine young boy.
Well, that'll do for now. We can change it or add to it later.
Amazing!
How did you do it?
I just took what you said and did more of it. Let's see, what's next?
The song about the little farm store opening the new theater.
Oh, yes. Your cousin's script must have some conversations to set that up, so let's just think of the song. Okay, any ideas?
Is that one of my numbers?
Yes, I think so.
How about, guess what? There's a new theater.
That's one. Another?
I haven't been born yet, have I?
We'll use that a little later.
How about using my old speech when I started the theater group?
That might work. How did it go?
Well, I started off by saying how we all could use a little local entertainment. You know, to perk things up a bit after all our hard work. Then old Officer Petty ups and says he won't have any bawdy houses in his little village and how it's bad enough to have to worry about our young folks sneaking into the city and throwing away their hard-earned money. So I makes my little speech about how it's better if our folks take their ease and spend their money right here at home, and how our shows are going to be different from the ones in the city. You know, high class, respectable, something to instruct our young folks about the value of hard work, clean living, and right thinking. And every play would have a moral for the people to take home with them.
Wait, I think I've got it. Try this out. When you want entertainment, don't go into the city. Our jokes and songs are just as bright, our girls are just as pretty. But best of all, our shows each have a moral to recall. Virtue shall triumph, justice will prevail, true love conquers all. Don't throw away your hard-earned cash parading up and down. You'll find a place for wholesome fun right here in your own town. But best of all, you'll get advice on which you can depend. Justice will prevail. True love conquers all. Virtue shall triumph in the end. You work all day and every night you pray. You need a little something more to drive your cares away. We'll be your local meeting hall, a place to find a friend. Our shows are clean and wholesome, with nothing to offend. And there's a bit of wisdom at the end of every tale. Love conquers all, virtue shall triumph, justice will prevail. So come down to the little inn, you're sure to have a ball, where virtue shall triumph, justice will prevail, true love conquers all.
That's it, all right. That's just what I said. Or something like that, anyway. And that concludes part 4 of our presentation of the changes over 20 years. Be sure to tune in again for the next installment on Radio Free Filler.